Right, in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you how you integrate VoiceFlow with Pipeline, using make.com. So this is an install of PipeDrive. We've got make.com, and I've set up a really basic flow in here. If this is of interest to you, check in the description. There are 2 free courses I do, one for agencies wanting to learn AI and one for businesses wanting to learn AI. They're completely free, and I'll show you how to deploy complete AI solutions. Okay, so what this is a very, very basic flow. I'm going to add to it as we're doing this. This is just a message. Can I have your email address? And we then capture the email to an entity called client email name, and then we're going to have a very basic hook, web hook coming in here. To set up a web hook is quite easy. You go here, get the web hook, put it in there, and we then do copy address to clipboard, and we will then come in here. I'll set one up, API, and this is a post request. We click on there first of all, go to the top right hand corner, we do post, and you then put the webhook from there into the post there. Okay, what I've also put in here is we have the body, and this is what it's actually going to send over to make.com. So here I have the entities. You've got the client name, so that is a key. The client name is the key, and the value, I've just created fake values. We've got Bob.client name, Bob. And then PipeDrive, when you have PipeDrive, you have to have a title for the deal, okay? You can call that whatever. You can have it as a hidden value, which is what I've put in here. And we then basically go in here. We just click on here quickly, redetermine data structure. We just send the details over. And you can see there we've got a 200 status, okay? And if we click on the headers, we can actually see what was sent over. Sorry, there's the body, show raw, show full. Okay, so you can basically see that got sent over, which is pretty much nothing really. We then save that. Right, we now do PipeDrive, okay? There is a lot of stuff that we can actually do using PipeDrive. You don't like, I mean, this is actually quite powerful, and you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. So we could do create a deal, for example, update a deal. We can do start. Okay, so let's have a look. We can create a person. We could update a person. So say we wanted to create some type of person, that the person that they're going to contact, we could do that. For this, let's just do create a deal, okay? And I'll do some other stuff inside. I've actually already done the connection in here. That is pretty easy. You just go in there, you go and get your API token, then you just go and drop that in there. So let's have a look at what the title can be. The title, let's go and put the PipeDrive title, which is high ticket sale, which is, I put that as a hidden value in there, okay? So I just created an entity. I just clicked on there, created a key, and that's a hidden one. So the person hasn't actually filled that out, but you need to have a title for it to work, okay? So we then have, so we've got the title, PipeDrive title. We can have the user, whatever one we want. But the user is actually the ID of the person at PipeDrive that it's going to go over to. Then we can then select the stage, qualified pipeline. I mean, there's a load of stuff you can do. I mean, I think that this, you really got to play around with this. So I really just want to show you the basics of how to do this. And then you can really sit there and say, okay, let's actually start playing around with this. So we've got the title. Let's just do save. Let's just send this over and we will see what happens, right? Run once, use existing data. So title. For some reason, the title didn't come up. Title is there. And that is basically what we've got back. So let's have a look at PipeDrive on the deals. And it's there. We have a high ticket sale. And what you've got to note here is that it's not actually allocated to anyone. So there should be a person selected. So what we really need to do is we need to create a person, right? Let's actually delete that. And we will create a person. Name. So we now have these. So client name, owner. This is an ID. This is the actual owner of the deal. Let's just see what happens when we do this. Bundle 2, and it's created a person. It's created ID 9. So now if we go into let's and there it is, Bob. So you can see we've actually just created a person in this. We could have put in their email address. We can do a whole heap of things. But what we can now do is that person now is now set up in PipeDrive, right? So we can now start pulling stuff. Now we now have the person, and we can pull the person ID because we just created the person, okay? Can you see how we've done that? But we created the user there, and we now create a deal. But can we see how it's like grey? The background is grey, pink, because that is coming from there. Do you kind of see what I mean? So let's do save. Deal ID. So now let's have a look in PipeDrive. So we've got high ticket sale. That's come through. And that is allocated to Bob, which was the person that we just created. Can you see how we're doing this? And this is basically, so like you can just sit there and do this, but you work it through. You create the person, but can you see how, so you've got the client name there. Then when it comes through here, we then take the person ID from there and we put it into there. We put it into, this is the create a deal one. So that it needs the person ID so that then when it comes here, we have the person ID. Do you see what I mean? But we could then just say, for instance, PipeDrive isn't a CRM, an email marketing thing. So let's say that we now want to onboard the people. We can put get response on here. And what we could do is we could do create a contact. Get response is and this is an email system. So we do get response, and this has got this set up with my stuff in there. Okay, this is failing to load. But what we would then do is put the client email into get response. We have now got it so that they come in, we create the lead, we then allocate client name, we then allocate the deal to the lead, so that we've now created two things within PipeDrive, and we then add them to the email thing, our email responder, so that all now goes through. And all of this was coming from a conversation. So this could be the finishing off of a lead generation within Voice Flow. So you have it, that the person has decided that they're going to somehow buy something or whatever, and you want to add them to PipeDrive so that someone can contact them by phone or whatever tomorrow, and you then want them also added to the email address, the email, so that they will then be on your email list. And all of that has been done within this. Do you see how easy that is? But can you see how, like, I'm doing that? Bang, I take from the webhook, so I get the client name and I create the contact, and I then add them to PipeDrive as a deal. Okay, because I can then use the ID that's created there. Okay, if you have any problems with this, just message me and I'll help you sort this out. I hope this has helped you. Thanks.